Hi First Class, Mr. Dunk here, and we are looking at page 68 of our Planet Maths books, which is on patterns. And you may be looking at this page and wondering, where are the pictures? Where are the colours? I can't see any shapes. Well, you're right. We're looking at patterns, but this time within numbers. You can see the little girl up here saying, I will look at number patterns, which is what we're doing. Well, let's have a look at what we have here. We have something called a 100 square. 100 square is a square that goes from 1 all the way to 100. That's why it's called a number square. On each row in the number square, it goes, there are 10 numbers. So the first row starts at 1 and goes all the way up to 10. And then we go back to the left-hand side and it starts again, this time at 11, goes up to 20. Then the next row starts at 21, up to 30, and so on and so on. Actually, if you have a look carefully, you can see that the first number of each row, the unit, is 1. Now, if you remember yesterday from the odds and evens video, you should then notice that every single number in this row, because it has a 1 in the units column, they are all odd numbers. In the same way that the second number in this row, so the second column, they all have 2 as the unit in the number. So 2, 12, 22, 32. So all of these numbers would be even numbers. Let's have a look at what you have to do. Now, this might take a little bit of time because it's asking you to colour each and every single one of these numbers, either red or blue. But I wonder, is there a way for us to do it a bit quicker? So I'm just going to get my colour pencil out. I'll start with the blue. And it says, I'll start with the red because that's the first line. Start at 2, count in 2s. So when we count in 2s, that just means we skip a number and go to the one after that. So instead of counting 1 at a time, we're counting 2 at a time. A bit like if you're going up the stairs in your house and you miss a stair, you're going up in 2s, aren't you? You're not going up every single step. So count in 2s, colour the numbers red. So 2, I'll count 2. 1, 2, that brings me to 4. That's already in red, so I count another 2. 1, 2, there's 6, so I can colour that in red. Count another 2. 1, 2. Colour that in red. 1, 2. I'll colour that in red. And from here, it's a bit tricky, but all I have to do is remember that 11 comes after 10. So if I'm at 10, going 1, 2, and then I'm at 12. 1, 2, I'm at 14. 1, 2, I'm at 16. 1, 2, 18. 1, 2, 20. And then I count another 2. 1, 2, I'm at 22. Now, you might have noticed something here. When I count in 2s, all the numbers here with 2 in the units column, 2, 12, and 22, they're all red. And guess what? That pattern continues. So instead of going to every other number, counting in 2s all the way down, look at the pattern. There's loads of patterns in maths. Maths and art can be very similar sometimes. You can find patterns everywhere. So I'm just going to do this. There we go. Now that's not very nice colouring. And then I can go to this column here and do that. Same thing. Now I'm not going to do the whole thing because it'll take me forever. Now let me just get my rubber out because I made a bit of a mess up here. Okay. The second thing I ask you to do is with your blue colouring pencil, start at 1, count in 2s, and colour the numbers blue. So it's the same thing, but this time instead of starting at the number 2, I'm starting at the number 1. So 1, count in 2s. 1, 2, brings me to 3. Do it again. 1, 2, that brings me to 5. 1, 2, 7. 1, 2, 9. And I'm just going to count again and another 2. 1, that's 10. 2 brings me to 11. Look, I think some of you have already worked out what I need to do. Instead of me counting 2 each time, 1, 2 to 17, I can find a pattern. That's right. These columns. they're all going to be in blue if I count in twos. There you go. And it makes sense, doesn't it? If I have a look here, this is 88. Can't really see it because I've covered it in blue. Sorry, that's not 88. That's 81. If I count in 2, 1, 2, that brings me to 83. 1, 2, that brings me to 85. 87 is going to be in blue. 89 is going to be in blue. And join it up to the top. So hopefully what you have is a blue and red striped 100 square. Right, now I'm actually going to rub this out because we need to use this number square. Hopefully when you colour in with your colour pencils, you'll still be able to see the numbers underneath. Let's have a look at the questions on the page. That'll do. Now, don't panic, first class. If you count all these additions, all these numbered sentences up, there are 30 of them. You might be thinking, Mr. Dunk, that's too many. I can't do 30. Well, you could do 30, but it would take you a long time. However, we're going to use a pattern to help us answer the questions much quicker than you think you'll be able to. Let's have a look at the first one. Get my pencil out. Oh, I'll have a black pencil. There we go. 3 plus 10. Okay, let's go up here. Let's use this 100 square to help us. You'll notice we're not using a number line this time. We're going to use the number square to help us. So 3 plus 10. Okay. Well, normally when we add, I tell you to start at the biggest number and then add the little number. So you would probably think, okay, I'm going to swap that around and have it as 10 plus 3, which is fine. Go to 10 and go 1, 2, 3. End up at 13. That would be the answer. Just there. Write your answer there. Okay. And then you might look at the next one and think, okay, 13 plus 10. Well, 13 is bigger this time, so I'll start at 13 and I'll add 10. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Now, if you're good at noticing things, you might have already figured out what the trick is. Look at the first number. We started at 3 and we added 10 and the answer was 13. 3 is here and 13 is right below it. Just going to rub that out so you can see. There it is, there's 13. The next one was 13 plus 10. Well, we started at 13 and we ended up at 23. Where's 23? Right below it. So when we add by 10 using 100 square, the answer is right below it. And that makes sense, doesn't it? Because there are 10 numbers on each line. If you look at the last number in the row, 10, lots of us know how to add in tens. 10 plus 10 is 20, and there's 20 right below 10. 20 plus 10 is 30, and there's 30 right below 10. So 23 plus 10, can you use 100 square to help me find the answer? There's 23. If I add 10, where do I need to look? That's right. Right underneath. It's 33, the answer. 63 plus 10. Well, let's find 63. What's below it? 73. There's your answer. Okay. And you'll notice that in 4 and 6, you have to add 10. So I think you are able already to do question 1, question 4, question 6. Let's look at the other questions. Question 2. 6 plus 3. And you'll notice that every single one it's asking you to plus 3, add 3. Will we find another pattern? I hope so. 6 plus 3. Well, let's just get the rubber out so we have a nice clean 100 square. There we go. 6. So I'm just going to underline 6. And we're going to add 3. We're going to do it the normal way. 1, 2, 3. There's my answer. 9. That 9 is important. 16. There's 16. And we're adding 3 again. 1, 2, 3. And hang on. The answer is 19. Do you see a pattern emerging? When we add a 3 to a number where there's a 6 in the units, the answer has a 9 in it, and whatever the 10 is stays the same. Well, okay. Let's see if that really works. So what did I say? If we have a number where 6 is in the unit and we add by 3, there'll be a 9 in it. So I'm going to put my 9 in. And the 10 will stay the same. Well, the 10 here is 3 for 30. 39. Let's see if my trick worked. 36 plus 3. There's my 36. 1, 2, 3. And would you know it, it did work. 39. That's exactly what I wrote without even doing the addition. I used the pattern to help me. I wonder if we can find a pattern here in number 3. So the first one we have is 12 plus 7. So let's do the adding normally. Just rub out this. Okay, so what was that again? 12 plus 7. So there's my 12. I'm going to do my normal adding. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We've ended up at 19 again. All right. Okay, I'm going to do the next one to see if I can figure out what pattern I might find here. So 22 plus 7. So there's 22. Some of you have probably already figured out the pattern, but let's keep going anyway. Plus 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 29. Okay. Do you notice a pattern yet? I do. In the first 2 questions here, when we've had a number where there's a 2 in the units column, and we've added 7, there's a 9 in the units column afterwards. So 12 plus 7 is 19, 22 plus 7 is 29, but the tens column has stayed the same. Right, let's try and use the pattern to answer this. So 32 plus 7. So I have my 2 in the units column and my 7. So what did we say? That will make a 9. And the tens column has stayed the same. There's the 1 10 there, and there's 1 10 there, and 12 and 19. There's 2 10s there and 2 10s there for 22 and 29. I've got 3 10s for 32 and 3 10s to make 39. Let's double check that that's worked. So there's 32. And I reckon the answer is going to be 39. So let's see if it works. We're adding 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Bingo. We got it. Okay. Number 1 we've been over, and we've talked about how when we add 10, you can find the number directly underneath. So for example, 55 plus 10, there's the answer right underneath, 65. 48 plus 10, what's the answer? It's right underneath, 58. So I think you can do number 1, number 4, number 6 on your own. Number 2 and number 3, we found a pattern and we used it to help us answer the questions. Number 5. I think I'm going to let you have a go at doing this on your own. If you have any problems, you can send me a message. But I know you guys are really good at maths. So have a go. Make sure you use the pattern to help you. Don't spend ages doing each and every single one of these number sentences one by one. Find a pattern and use it to help you answer the questions. Okay, best of luck. See you soon. Bye.